the dish, it's a food tradition that the British have enjoyed for centuries, the traditional Sunday roast. To learn more about what makes a perfect version and why it's so much more than just a meal, Holly Williams met chef Tom Kerridge, owner of the world's only 2 Michelin-starred pub, and found out about how it's changing.
On any given Sunday, in pubs across this country, the British faithful gather. Golden, crispy potatoes, a cut of sizzling meat drizzled in rich gravy.
Hey there, guys.
A traditional Sunday roast is one thing, perhaps the only thing, that nearly everyone in this United Kingdom agrees on.
It's a staple. You have to have a Sunday British roast.
That's what you do on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's lamb, whether it's pork, and I suppose most traditionally it's always seen with roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, horseradish cream.
Tom Kerridge is the acknowledged master of the British roast. He opened the first pub in the world ever to be awarded 2 Michelin stars, the Hand and Flowers in the countryside outside London. And he's authored a string of best-selling cookbooks.
And you could do this on a tray.
In the kitchen of Kerridge's new pub in the city, the Butcher's Tap and Grill, he gave us a lesson in making perfect pork crackling.
So we just kind of baste
Oh, wow.
hot oil over the top. And we'll keep doing this, and the skin begins to blister.
His secret recipe for roast potatoes.
And then when they're cooked all the way through, you gently lift them out and put them onto a cake rack. And as they cool, what happens is they begin to steam and crack, because this is the bit that makes it nice and crispy and crunchy, so you can feel it's dry.
And Yorkshire pudding.
So you get your liquid mixed together, which is the eggs and the milk, and then you add in the flour.
A savoury batter baked in hot oil.
And then we pour the mix in, dead into the centre.
Whoa.
The pillowy and almost compulsory accompaniment to every British roast. Comfort food in more ways than one.
The sense of what happens on a Sunday is actually also so much about connection with each other, with people sat around a table. And I think that's where Sunday lunch becomes like a really important part of, I think, British culture.
This is amazing.
Before becoming a celebrity chef, Kerridge told us he was raised in public housing by a single mother who worked multiple jobs to make ends meet.
And that smell of a roast dinner, we didn't have a joint of meat very often. One of the supermarkets used to do this sausage meat in a roll. She would bake that, but we'd have everything else with it. She'd make the Yorkshire puddings, we'd do roast potatoes, we'd have amazing carrots, and the gravy and everything that goes with it.
My memories of childhood are my father making Yorkshire pudding, and it seeming a bit sort of magical. Like, we didn't know how to do it, but Dad knew how to make a puffy.
It's not technically that difficult, but it is one of those things that take time. And if you've got time on a Sunday to do it, then you must do it.
The Sunday roast is thought to have its roots in the Middle Ages, when huge hunks of beef were roasted on a spit. Over the centuries, roast beef became so synonymous with this nation, it's even French slang for the British, le roast beef. And the meal became sacrosanct during the Industrial Revolution, a calorific indulgence on the workers' day off. But in recent years, this country's been through a different sort of revolution in the kitchen, inspired by waves of immigration. Around 40% of Londoners were born overseas. At the Tamil Crown pub in North London, they serve a Sunday roast infused with the flavours of Tamil Nadu in southern India.
Lamb roast?
Cuts of lamb and chicken steeped in coconut and masala, with roti flatbread instead of Yorkshire pudding.
People love it.
The fusion roast is the brainchild of chef Prince Durairaj, who came to London from India 14 years ago.
The criticism of British food is that it's a bit bland, it's a bit boring. Do you think that with your flavours, you've helped fix that problem?
Definitely, yeah.
The pub is booked out for weeks in advance, a hit with foodies who love London's lively mix.
It's so diverse, it's very multicultural, you're bringing in a lot of the history and like the nuance of all of these different cultures, and it's a beautiful melting pot of all of it.
Back on the other side of London, we asked Tom Kerridge, the standard bearer for British culinary traditions, what he thinks about his new